So this really is the basement of Zebus. This really is the bowels of the bowels of the bowels. Head left once you reach the bottom of the elevator. Ignore all the dragons here. This is where the space jump definitely comes in handy. Just the right rhythm to avoid all those bursts right there. Before we dip down, let's stay up right here and use a bomb. Specifically a power bomb. Excuse me. And once again, gonna let the Torizo statue kind of cup us. Looks like he's about to go bowling with us. This will drain the lava out of this room. So we can drop down to the bottom now. Go through the drain. Use some bombs here on the floor, on these blocks that look like they can be bombed. It's a satisfying freeze right there. So in this next room, you want to use your space jump to sail over this. That's going to give way as soon as you put any weight on it, so. We now have our 41st missile expansion, just 5 to go. Now you can drop down. And who's that up there embedded in the bricks? It's our old pal Torizo, and he got a new coat of paint for the rematch. Gary?
Boss beaters.
Alright, Golden Torizo. I don't like to use missiles. I want to save them for Ridley, who's coming up in just a moment. Instead, we can get by just fine by firing charge shots at his belly and then just space jump over or through his waves for that invincibility. But yeah, not too difficult. And plus, there'll be plenty of power-ups, replenishments as you fight him as well. Not too difficult.
Yeah, when you do the charge shot, you can get away with, sort of like we did with the Phantom, with avoiding damage there, but not really necessary. It's not all that tough. Stick to the charge shots, which incidentally go through his little babies as well once they hatch. Grab all the goodies that the piñata of Torizo left us, and before we leave here, let's go check out where Torizo was hanging out. Drop a power bomb right there to clear all that out. And we will find ourselves the final super missile upgrade here in Super Metroid. Feels good, and couldn't have come at a better time as we are about to take on Ridley, as Gary said. Now let's head through this door here. Pop this open, see what we got for beating Golden Torizo. The screw attack, finally. Blaze?
Alright, the screw attack. This allows Samus to do an invincible jump in the air when you're somersaulting. Use this to remain invincible with certain boss attacks. Things like that. Gary will talk about that. This can also break bomb blocks.
Yeah, it's nice having the invincibility of the screw attack, killing pretty much anything that it touches. You can go through those bricks, just like Blaze mentioned, right at the top. Carry on through this area. It's rush hour here. Good time to have the screw attack. Use one of our 50 super missiles at this point to open that gate and pass on through. Once again, the lava's not going to come all the way up, but still fun to use that screw attack to break through some barriers without having to pull out any other weapons. Got a whole room full of enemies here, but we're just going to screw attack our way right up to the top. And if it looks like that ceiling can be broken, good eyes. Bust on through. It just becomes a sixth sense after you play this game for a while. Sure, some items are very hidden, but every now and then you're thinking, yeah, that can go. That can go right here. Hug the left wall, break this, and just hold to the left to get our 42nd missile upgrade right here. In a heart-shaped room right here. That's sweet. Be careful when you're leaving. You can go down at the bottom, but it's a longer way to get back. So if you just make sure you just come out to that one brick, which won't disappear, then just spring jump up and then come back this way. Save yourself some time. And here the lava is actually rising to a point where it can swallow us up. So let's keep moving here. Note the shape of the room right here. I don't know, you guys can block all you want. I'm just trying to get out of here. So in this next room, we have an alien against the wall. Normally I wouldn't care, but in this case, we want to freeze him and use a super missile and pass right on through. Careful about accidentally destroying these fire fleas. They are once again lighting up the room, but here is our 12th energy tank, just 2 to go after this. Plenty of health for Ridley here, no excuses. As we travel back out the way we came in. We're gonna go back into this last room and this time drop a power bomb on the floor. And drop right on through. A lot of things can be blown up in this area here. Statues and... well, a lot of statues. If you want to pop in here, this is a save room. Get a save on file. Be a bad time to lose. You're in the home stretch of this game. In case we do die. Alright, you know you can use something here. You can use little dinky bombs just to go through this hole in the wall on the right. Use a power bomb just to clear everything out of the way. Looks like we could bomb that, but now we want to go in this little hole right here and just use a regular bomb to pass on through. Love how effective the screw attack is on... it's just an instant death for everybody in this game. Alright, before we worry about that, let's grab this. I guess this is our 8th power bomb upgrade right here. 2 to go. And yes, we will definitely use a power bomb right here to disintegrate this middle statue. And just mind the elevator here. It just kind of drops down. Probably hasn't been serviced in a while, so just ride it down a little bit and then hop off. These guys are kind of annoying. They can only be defeated once they turn to that brighter color, so just sort of shoot at them a little bit. Eventually they'll do one of their little kicks, and then that's when they let their guard down, so very small window to get those hits in, but yeah, because they're otherwise always invincible, it doesn't make sense to try to use time a bomb or anything like that. But this works pretty well. We want to save most of our missiles for Ridley anyway. Very frustrating. But we are maxed out on super missiles, so that's good. It's a good takeaway. This looks like classic Metroid right here, this room. The colors, the teeth. Get a hang of the space jump, as you can see right there. Pull off some sweet chains, sweet combos. And you know what this door means? Use a super missile, pass on through, and throw it back to Gary. Gary?
Boss beaters.
Alright, Ridley. This is a prize fight right here. I love this one. Just aim diagonally up and launch off your best missiles, your super missiles, into his belly, any part of him really. I like to jump up in the air to chase him up, get extra shots in. Just make sure you're accurate with those missiles so you don't waste them, especially the super missiles. And yeah, just keep putting them into him. Eventually he'll go down. Good luck.
Prize fight, I like that. Good look, Gary. Yeah, sometimes he'll pick you up, but you can just pelt him with even more super missiles at that point, for what it's worth. Eventually he gets to a point where he'll pick you up because the battle is over, and that's just sort of his death move right there. I've played him where I've hit it in the lava when he's ready to go, and he'll keep trying to reach down and grab you. Alright, so he didn't do it that time. He won't always grab you, it just depends on where you're standing, but that works too. A win is a win is a win. Is a win. And for our efforts, we're handsomely, there it is. With the penultimate energy tank right there. And it would appear that the Metroid has been moved or escaped. Not sure if anyone told Ridley. Apparently he was just guarding an empty room here, but that's fine. That's just fine. Alright, so now obviously we need to do some backtracking to get out of here. We're going to head back to kind of where that alien was blocking the energy tank area. We didn't explore upwards in that area yet, so we're going to go do that. And while we're heading backwards for the moment, let's bring in Fluff for another Fluff fact about Super Metroid. Fluff?
There's a secret moveset which the game doesn't tell you about. To access it, have the charge beam and another beam equipped, and select power bombs as your secondary weapon. Charge your charge beam, then after a couple seconds, Samus will be surrounded by circling projectiles. The type changes depending on whether you've got the ice, wave, plasma, or spacer beam equipped.
So many secrets. I love it. They really put their whole heart and soul into this one. And it shows. That's why people are still playing it today, and why speedrunning it is such a big deal, and all the accolades. It deserves them all. Just screw attack into the statue there. We're nearly back. We'll definitely want to stop off at our ship before we go to take on Mother Brain for the final fight. Make sure we're topped off on everything. But yeah, in this room, avoid the Indiana Jones-like traps, those boulders, and just pass through this wall on the left right here. You could tell it looked a little funky. There was something going on there, but head on up here. We're going to go to the right, grab ourselves the 43rd missile upgrade. And we also have the penultimate power bomb power-up around here. Use one on this wall. Just keep jumping and holding to the right, using that spring ball. Then just pass on through. And here is the penultimate power bomb upgrade. And actually you can't get to this from the left side. You can only get out this way by shooting that and then stepping on this so that the rest gives away. But we're going to run back through here. That's where that door led, by the way. This time we're going to go up and to the left once we get to the junction at the top of this area here. Have one more missile upgrade in this area before we take a sort of little shortcut back to a normal part of Zebes. Let's just say that. So power bomb right there, and head to the left and grab yourself the 44th missile upgrade. Just 2 to go for that arbitrary number of the max of 230, but there you go. All right, let's get out of here now. Head up here, and we're going to have a little shortcut back to Brinstar. It'll look very familiar once we pass through here. Gotta use all the tricks that we got at this point, but yeah, right through the wall, and then back in Brinstar, just like that. Kinda missed it, and its weird green color scheme. So now it's just about grabbing the last few power-ups. I think we have 2 more missile upgrades, 1 more energy tank, and 1 more power bomb, and then we'll be all maxed out for that 100% completion. We'll also stop off at our ship, which is right next to the final power bomb location, so we gotta head there anyway to make sure we're all maxed out. and ready to tangle with Mother Brain. And save that adorable little Metroid. Remember how tiny it was? So cute. I'm sure it hasn't grown at all, but anyway. I guess while we're backtracking, let's speed things up a little bit and bring back in Fluff for another Fluff fact about Super Metroid. Fluff?
When Super Metroid was released on March 19th, 1994, at 24 megabits, it was the largest file size on a cartridge ever released on the console. That's still 4 times bigger than the largest game on the NES, which we did a recent class on in Kirby's Adventure, which was only 6 megabits. Of course, it's all relative, because as we mentioned in that class, an average title today is 100 gigabytes, or 800,000 megabits.
Yeah, it's all relative. Thank you very much, Fluff. So we're back in this huge room in Brinstar, and we're going to use a power bomb to head back down here. We were down here before, but we did not have the power bomb, which we needed to lay right there. And we need the speed boost to run right through here. Might need to clear out a couple enemies that are in the way first. Make sure they don't mess up your sprint. But here we go, the final E-tank. Final energy tank. There you go, all 14. So we're maxed out on health now. Last thing we need to do is grab a couple missiles and one last power bomb. Yeah, probably going back to what Fluff just said. Say the average AAA title these days is, probably at least 100 gigabytes, probably more. Just goes to show you don't need a massively sized game for it to be a classic like we have right here. So we're going to go back through this door and use your space jump here and a power bomb. Remember, this connects back to that initial area where we first got the morph ball, the morphing ball. Use another one to take out this wall right here, the bottom bit of it here. And then to take out this wall. And the final 2 missile upgrades are pretty much right next to each other. We're going to go all the way to the right here, where we kind of fudged it, taking that damage so that we could get knocked up into the energy tank for that first one. Also got our second missile upgrade here. It's funny how I remember these things after playing this game many, many times. But lay a power bomb right here. Could probably do a shine spark, but just gonna do our space jumps here to knock through that ceiling. Go to the left. And there's actually an invisible platform right there. Take that across. They're pulling out all the stops now. And grab the penultimate missile upgrade number 45 right here to get us up to 225, excuse me. And then shoot the base on the left. Very anticlimactic, just like that. The final missile upgrade for our very arbitrary final total of 230 missiles. So now, literally the last thing to do before we go to take on Mother Brain is to get the final power bomb upgrade. So gonna head back to the surface to grab that. And we're gonna be calling on our space jump technique to basically go up and to the right of where our ship is docked, parked. Been there a while, hopefully. Haven't been written up any tickets or anything. Not a lot of traffic out there, enemy or otherwise. It's very quiet on the surface of Zebes. Lulls you in thinking that this is a chill planet that you might want to hang out on. Not the case. Not the case at all. The space jump combined with the screw attack is pretty great in this section in particular, and the high jump, boots, just all the augmentations at this point working together. Did I whistle just now? Felt a little whistle. Augmentations. That's how you know we don't have any more fluff facts today, when I'm commenting on the whistling sounds that my teeth make. You never know, he might surprise us. He might have one more up his paw. Wait and see, but We're pretty much here now, so let's head on outside. And we might as well grab this before we hit our ship, so just go full speed and just launch with all the momentum, and we're not quite done. We're going higher and higher and higher here. All the way up. The highest peak. We've been to the deepest depths of Zebes that it has to offer. Now we have reached the highest peak to get the final upgrade. One solitary power bomb upgrade to bring our total to 50. So we now have the max everything for Super Metroid, just to remind you, is 14 energy tanks, 4 reserve tanks, 230 missiles, that's 46 missile upgrades, 10 super missile upgrades to bring that total to 50, and the same for the power bombs, 50 right there, 10 of those. So there we go, let's max them all out. There's your max stats, quote-unquote stats. And now it's time. Time to go to the one final place on planet Zebes that we have not yet explored, Tourian, the home of Mother Brain, and hopefully that cute little Metroid as well. Hopefully we'll find him there, but we'll see. So to get there from your ship, we're heading straight left. Been so long since we've seen this area, right? We've backtracked so many times through parts of Brinstar and Norfair and, yeah, everywhere in between. Meridia, but now I'm gonna finally open this red door and go right this time. There was no point in coming here before because, as you'll see, once we open this door right here, not heavily guarded, with the red locked door on the outside, but you need to take down the 4 bosses of Kraid, Fantoon, Dragon, and of course Ridley on top there. Kind of loafing, except you can see the claws right there, but there you go. I like the way they do this, just like in the original Metroid. Had to take down both Ridley and Kraid before you could access and reach Mother Brain's final area. Same concept this time as the ground gives out. The statue is sunk down in the background. We take the elevator down to Tourian for the final showdown. Tried to set that up as dramatically as I could. So you know the drill if you played the first Metroid. Be on the lookout for Metroids here. There's a save spot to the right there if you want to use it. To take out these Metroids, you freeze them, and then you hit them with a super missile. Oftentimes they'll drop one, so you can stay relatively even. You might fall a little bit behind, but that's alright. As long as you have gotten all the missiles at this point, all the upgrades, then the final battle shouldn't be too bad, especially if you have full health. Part of the luxury of gathering every single item in this game is that you are very much prepared for this final attack. If you do get caught by one of the Metroids, then just get into a ball and use your bombs, move around to shake them off of you. Let's see if we can get to the bottom without getting grabbed by one of these. Just take them one at a time is also a good rule of thumb. And as soon as you hit them with the bomb, make sure you have your ice beam out. That was a gimme right there. I didn't need to waste a super missile right there, but that's alright. These guys just hanging out, not really doing their job. Trying to stop us. I always thought it was very creepy how everything just turns to dust essentially as soon as you touch it in this area. It's like a museum. And here's one of those creatures now. Wonder how they all became. Oh, hey, it's little Metroid. Oh, you've grown up? You've been eating. I guess we can see what you've been eating. You can actually extend this. You can actually ditch the Metroid altogether and kind of make your way to the left side of the screen. But eventually, you gotta do this. Doesn't matter. Just if you get in the right rhythm, you can get the Metroid circling you. Do you remember me? That tastes familiar? I'd like to think that it feels a little remorse right here for sucking us dry. Thankfully, though, it's good planning on Mother Brain's part, having an energy refill station along with the missiles as well, which we don't need, so it's not doing anything for us. We also had our reserves to work with if we did need to dip into those. The little Metroid didn't know about that. Gotta stop referring it to as a little Metroid at this point, but at least they've been eating well. One last super missile, and we have one last save spot down below, as you can see, in case you want to do that. And the SpaghettiOs of frustration, those rings. Just use your regular missiles here, don't dip into your super missiles, want to save those. Part of the reason for getting 230 missiles, going through all the trouble, aside from getting a 100% completion, is that you can use them without worrying about taking inventory on them or anything like that. They are there to use, so go ahead and use them. And it's time for Mother Brain. Let's bring in Gary.
Boss beaters.
Right, Mother Brain, the strategy very similar to the first Metroid. We just want to stand at the edge of the platform. In this case, I guess we could fire the missiles up, but you got to take out that glass plating first. You want to dodge, shoot, or jump through those rings, which are more annoying than anything, just knocking you off your spot. But just repeat this, stand in place, do that diagonal up firing of the missiles, just the basic missiles, mind you. You'll take down Mother Brain.
Good call, Gary. Worked like a charm. Still have 113 missiles to go. I guess for the ride home, right? If anybody steps to us on our way back to our okay, we're not done. Gary?
Boss beaters.
Right, Mother Brain's second and final form. Want to fire everything you got, all your super missiles, all your missiles, get against that back wall, aim up diagonally and just fire at her head like there's no tomorrow. She's got an explosive shot she'll launch on the ground, which has a delayed explosive response, so give it a second before you jump so you're in the air when it explodes. And then just transition between being on the ground and jumping to bait her rings and her energy bursts so that they're hitting where you're not, but just aim up, fire everything you got at her, eventually you'll take her down.
Good call. Thank you very much, Gary. I guess take her down is, we get to the point where it turns over to story mode, basically. Which, as soon as she starts to gather energy here, I think this will do it, yep. So now it's very similar to our first battle, quote unquote, with Ridley, where we just need to hang around and get the crap beat out of us until it's time to move on. We've already gotten in all the shots we need to. It's just about getting all kinds of Rainbow Raid into the wall. Actually would have been faster. Cut down on some time maybe. I'm not sure if the timer's running during this, but yeah, if we had come into this battle with significantly less health, could have shaved off an extra minute. That's alright. I think we're still in good shape. So it's not looking too good for Samus right here. Kind of a bummer after the last 2 hours or so. But I guess we lost, class. First time on this channel, I think Gary has failed at wait. Bite my tongue. Thanks, little Metroid. Sucker dry. Nice. Surprised you still have an appetite after you went through our 14 energy tanks before. Nice. Just like the museum. Thanks, little Metroid. And now you're giving us our health back too. Strictly speaking, I don't think this is necessary. Yeah, this part always breaks my heart. If you don't feel something here, you might be a robot, but I'm just always screaming, get out of here, we're fine. We're doing great. We can go, we don't need this much energy for the ride home. Or the remainder of this battle with Mother Brain. Get out of here. You're looking worse for wear, little Metroid. Ah. So friggin' sad. But it gives us the ultimate beam right here and just take it out of Mother Brain's head. This is for little Metroid right here. Love it. I want to say it's impossible to lose here, but I don't think it is, but it would be very difficult to lose right here. There we go. One word of advice, Samus. Keep this weapon for the next game. That's all I'm going to say. But we can't smoke him yet. Classic dramatic fashion, we have 3 minutes to get out of here. Mother Brain pulled an Alec Trevelyan on us. Any GoldenEye fans out there? Get the reference? Anyway, it's not too difficult to get out of here. The path is this. Pretty much everything else is a dead end, so make sure you stick to this. I like to do the Shine Spark. Use that to get through there at the end. Gonna go up and around here. Use that screw attack. You guys might want to get out of here too. Space pirates. I want to tell you your business, but the ship's going down. Beam works well on them as well. Using the space jump works well if you just want to hang to one side, or you can just use your high jump boots like we're doing here. Not too far from here, and oh, Fluff, told you have one last thing you want to say?
Make sure you stop off to save the Edacoons and Daikora by destroying the wall for their escape. These peaceful creatures later show up in Metroid Fusion, where they play a big role in saving Samus, which suggests that saving these creatures is canon.
It's a very good reminder, thank you very much, Fluff. Yeah, to save those creatures. Instead of just going up and over, saving your own skin, morph ball down through that little crack here, open this door. Still have plenty of time to do this, don't worry. Just shoot that wall on the right there, and just go little creatures, go little Edacoon, I know, I love you too, go. It's just they're flexing for us. Yes, I know you know how to do wall jumps. They're the ones that taught us how to do the wall jumps, even though we already knew how to do the wall jumps, but that's all right. So we still got 1:30 to go, about probably 10 seconds worth of screen here. Just go to the right. And just get on your bloody ship and get out of here. Bad time to flub the morphing ball, but yeah, here we go. Be a bad time also to realize that you did not fill up on gas before you touched down. How dramatic is that? And you got to see them fly off to the right. I don't know if you caught that. Looked like a little shooting star, but that was the little critters getting away too. The operation was completed successfully. Clear time. There we go. 2 hours, 4 minutes. Well under the time of 3 hours to get that best ending. They're all pretty similar, but getting it under 3, that's the one you want. That's the one that gets the little extra animation. But there we go. As we enjoy the credits, yeah, I'm exhausted after that one, I gotta admit. That's It's one of the best games of all time, but that will take it out of you when you're going for that efficient run right there. But there you go. A huge thanks to all my TAs. I'm always grateful for all my TAs' help, but today just really knocked out of the park. Blaze covering all the items, Gary with the boss beaters, Fluff filling time with some interesting facts about Super Metroid, some things that I didn't know ahead of this class myself. So thank you to all of them. Thank you to you for watching this. I hope that you can use this particular walkthrough to pick up the game and 100% complete it just as easily as we did here today. Either way, if you don't mind, if you haven't already enrolled in this class, please hit that subscribe button to enroll. We do one of these classes every single week in the same spot. We'd love to have you enrolled. Click that like button if you don't mind as well. Really does help us out in making future classes for you. And leave a comment. I'm curious to see what your favorite game in the Metroid series is. Are you a fan of the original? I know Prime gets a lot of love, the more recent Dread. Yeah, let me know. I'm curious to know what you think, or is this your favorite like mine in the series? Leave a comment below though as we continue to give credit to the behind the scenes people. I guess they're all behind the scenes people when it comes to a video game. Curious to see if we're going to have, I'm sure we'll see the name, but I'm curious to see where his name is going to appear. Gunpei Yokoi, who Fluff mentioned, the father of the Game Boy and the one that was complaining that the game was taking too long. There he is, General Manager. His job to yell at everyone and threaten to pull the plug multiple times. Gunpei, I think sometimes it's translated as that, but there you go. Here it comes, best ending for our efforts of beating this under 3 hours. Samus shedding the suit and just, wearing her casual outfit or swimsuit. What a reward for rewarding players for beating the game especially quickly. But there you go, and I think we get our completion percentage at the end here too. Your rate for collecting items is 100%. That's what we like to see. See you next mission. We'll see you next class in the same spot. Next week, right here on Video Games 101. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video, and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you. And check the description of this video to see what song is playing right now.